So I'd like to run you through the individual components of what makes this Kickstarter very exciting for us. The first component is obviously the plush toy that you see before you. The plush toy is something you would think would be quite easy to get out of China, and to be honest with you, it is. The difficulty that we've overcome is finding the right quality and finding the right partner that can generate the right quantity. Okay, so there are a couple of key points there. So we found those people. We've got this sample, for example, and a couple of other samples that we've had made, and we've refined those. We've changed things like the ear in terms of our feedback. They're producing new high quality filling because we didn't like the filling that was inside of it, for example, and a few different things like that to make sure that the user experience, the child's user experience, is as high as possible. Okay, so that's something that we're well underway. Now, ordering the teddy bears is something that we are doing in the next coming weeks, to days really. So we plan to have 100 to 200 units of teddy bears in stock, ready to take our technology. Which leads me to my second area that I wanted to discuss, which is the technology that sits inside the teddy bear. Now, originally when we started this, we built iOteddy on an on a Linux-based operating system, and that Linux-based operating system was running on Raspberry Pi, because to be honest with you, that was just a readily available platform that we had at home. So from there, when we started to sort of explore that, we realized obviously the system was too big and all the rest of it. But by starting on a Linux-based operating system, we knew that we had a lot of control of the platform. What I mean by control is that we could secure it, it was adaptable, we could migrate it across different platforms and all the rest of it. So we then did a revision and we built a Raspberry Pi Zero shield, if you will. And that's very, very successful. That's been a very successful unit. We've built multiple units on that architecture, and that was really where we started to hone our testing. But what we discovered was getting access to large quantities of Raspberry Pi Zeros was challenging. The other thing that we didn't like was the battery life and different things like that. So what we've done more recently in the last 2 months is approached Chinese manufacturers of mobile phones. Now, with those mobile phone manufacturers, we've asked them to remove the screen, for example. We've asked them to remove the camera, for example. And so what we're actually doing is taking an existing product set, an existing BOM, if you will, which is the required term for manufacturing in China, and componentry list, and we've taken certain components out, which makes it very quick for us to start the manufacturing process and to really hyperscale this product very rapidly. So that's the teddy bear, that's the technology. Now it's running an Android operating system, which is a Linux operating system, which means that we can transport our existing code seamlessly across. Isn't that right, Joe? Okay, there's going to be a little bit of tweaking there, but to be honest with you, the way that we've actually built this platform is off a platform as a service known as PubNub, which means that we can very, very, very quickly change the operating system, because the PubNub service that we're sitting on top of, the very secure service that you'll read about on the Kickstarter campaign, runs a standard across many platforms. It's designed for IoT type technologies. It's designed for messaging applications as well. So it's a very, very, very powerful platform, and that's one of the other reasons why we can hyperscale our service should this go viral, which, fingers crossed, cross your fingers, teddy bear, with your support. So what we're basically seeing there is that we can hyperscale from a manufacturing of teddy bears, from the technology, because it's all standardized, and then from a server side. So then we flip over to the application. I'll put my teddy bear down for a minute, and I'll pull out my phone. So the next thing that we did was to start the story of where the application came from, we started with a web-based application running on the Raspberry Pi. That's where we first started, before PubNub and all the rest of it, just to get it working and see how it worked. From there, we started to experiment with an Android-based application. And what we've most recently done in our version 3 of our application is that we've gone to a standardized platform where we can roll out to Android or iOS. Now, as part of that recoding that we've already undertaken, and we're expecting to have that back by about November, we will have the new user interface. So the user interface that I've demonstrated today is definitely the beta user interface. The Kickstarter does have some user interfaces that we've decided upon. We have the ability to have little graphics, little GIFs that run, or alternatively just to have it as a text base. I know Some people prefer just a text type message rather than all the fun and games of having illustrated GIFs playing on the screen. So we're making this very customizable, and the reason we're doing that is because we've developed this as a software-defined teddy bear, which I know may be a bit of a Silicon Valley term, but we really wanted to create a platform where we could make it very open or very locked down based on the software and based on the hardware that we've sort of put into place. So it means that you as a Kickstarter sort of member, as part of our community, you'll be getting regular updates because there's a lot of features and functionality we want to include, and we do have as part of our roadmap, but we need to meet our minimum requirement, which is what we've put up on Kickstarter. Any additional features and functionality that we see, and we've got a 3 to 5 year roadmap, we can just introduce to the bear as part of a software update, which we find to be really, really exciting because it means that we've got a standardized hardware platform, and then we can just overlay additional features and functionality. Now, because of the way that we're doing this, following the lean startup methodology and the minimum viable product methodology, we plan to start releasing the beta bears with tested technology and software, but we just want to do a staged rollout. We don't want to just throw these things out into the market and have 1,000 people calling up with any kind of issues. So we're deliberately staggering that release cycle so that we can test those systems and get you to version 1.1 by the time you receive your teddy bear, even if you are part of the first 100. So it's a very exciting journey. I wanted to give you a very quick run through of the features, like I said. And I really hope you stay tuned and follow along with us, because if my little one keeps feeding at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll be making a fair few more of these videos because there's not much I can do at this time in the morning. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to your support. Thank you so much. Would you mind pledging? It would be great if you could pledge. And if we reach our goal, I'm going to make my dad buy an iOteddy or 6. Now, you can do the 10-pack. What do you reckon? Can you do the 10? I think you can do the 10-pack. Okay, you can do the 10-pack. Well, look, I just don't understand why you can't get the lines like first take. Look, I know I did drama at school for at least a semester, okay? And